5:15. All right, let's bring him in. Mr. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures in Chicago. Oliver, thanks for being on. All right, brother. We've talked about tariffs. We talked about export sales. So I think everybody stole all your material from you. Can you get something, dig something up after that?
Oh, man. Well, I'd say, we're relatively quiet today, as you had mentioned, but certainly a lot better off than where we started the morning, where we were mostly lower across the board. I was getting hit on exports for corn being very good this week, 42% above last week and 20% above the 4-week average. But if you zoom out, this market seems to be mostly range bound. That May contract really just running out of new buyers near that 510 level. Above that is the contract high from last May of 515, which brings me to the point, if you're a producer, say, man, I wish I would have laid off some risk at $5 in that May corn contract. This is a golden opportunity, in my opinion. If you want to keep the upside open, just protect the downside options are a great tool to do that. Corn has been the leader to the upside, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these other grain markets play catch up, particularly that wheat market, which is looking more and more constructive every week. $6 to $6.05 is going to be technical and psychologically significant resistance. If we can get a couple closes out above there, I really wouldn't be surprised to see that spur short covering and make a beeline towards that 650 level. Wheat is really the one grain market where funds are still very aggressively on the short side.
When you talk to your producers, I don't know if you do really, but I mean, and when you talk to them, what percent of new crop are you guys kind of dabbling in now?
We're trying to stay as patient as possible. I still think that we can see these corn and bean markets work a little bit higher, starting to look at the December corn as maybe being a little bit more proactive and playing some defense there. With where beans are priced right now, I think that we've got to make a little bit of a move higher to buy some acres there. So trying to stay as patient as possible. As mentioned earlier, the options are a great tool to do that. At least give yourself some peace of mind and some comfort knowing that there is a floor in place.
Do those puts get expensive on these rallies?
The puts, the volatility actually isn't all that bad.
Oh, really?
So I like using the option to keep the upside open, especially since we have a little bit more friendly bias going into the springtime.
That's interesting. Okay, stay there. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk more with Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures. He's in Chicago. We're in Nashville. We'll be right back right after this. 52. Let's bring back in Mr. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures. Oliver, anything jump out of you there when we talk about the livestock market?
I think what we're seeing is some much-needed relief after a pretty sharp sell-off in live cattle and feeder cattle. 195 is going to be a key level of technical support for that April contract to break and close below there, and we could see continued long liquidation. As far as where this relief rally could take us, that 200 level is going to be the line in the sand. That was where we previously broke down from, as well as the psychologically significant number, and you've got the cash market still trading just above that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see futures gravitate a little bit higher here into the end of the week. And I think you could say the same thing with feeder cattle, with the CME feeder cattle index right around 275. And we're seeing that April contract move a little bit closer towards that. So long as those cash markets can stay relatively strong or even flat, I wouldn't be surprised to see the market settle down and consolidate. I think what would concern me is if we start to see continued selling pressure and we take out the recent lows, regardless of the fundamental landscape at that point, you could see the selling pick back up.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And real quick, we got 5 seconds. So the high's in, though.
Oh, man.
It's not fair. I get it. I know it's not fair.
I think for now, I think we need a little bit more of a shakeout. Longer term, looking into next year, I think we can make another push higher, but okay. I think we need a little bit more of a cleanse in the near term.
All right, I'll take that. Good answer. It's not fair of me to ask you that. Appreciate you playing along. Thank you very much, Oliver. Oliver Slope, Blue Line Futures in Chicago, bringing it back here to Nashville. That was naughty.